the Hmong people helped us tremendously in the Vietnam War. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In saying?
So what happened was the U.S. said we need people on the ground that knew how to do stuff and knew the land. So it was all out guerrilla warfare. So they came to the Hmong people and said, hey, if you guys help us fight this war, win, lose, or draw, you have free citizenship. You can come to America. So there's a handshake deal that was made with a bunch of Hmong leaders and U.S. government. And then they sent in CIA and special forces to come in and train the Hmong people. So my dad, at the age of 12, with all his brothers, they joined basically it's like the militia. So they joined. We're going to give you guns. We're going to give you uniform. We're going to teach you night ops. We're going to teach you how to do that. We're going to teach you how to use, bombs, grenades. We're going to teach you how to use everything. And you guys will be our troops on the ground. And so one of the main jobs that the Hmong people had was when Air America, which is U.S. Air Force, would do their bombing, if they were shot down over Laos, the Hmong people, their job was to run rescue missions to rescue U.S. downed pilots. Wow. So all of that happened. And when the U.S. pulled out, they said, oh, shoot, we can't take everyone with us. So all the Hmong people were left behind. And then the Northern Communist Party came through. And if you were Hmong, basically they were saying, hey, you fought against us. They saw you as the Americans. So then there was a genocide of thousands and thousands of our people. And then they had to escape from the hills of Laos. They had to escape, go down through the jungle, hide in the jungle for 2 or 3 months, and then cross the Mekong River in the dead of night, try to make it to Thailand. In Thailand, if you were one of the lucky ones, there would be one of the NGO groups would find you and then take you to the refugee camp. But if they caught you, they would send you back to internment camps. So my dad and my mom, that's what they did. So there's this huge story. My mom tells me, even till today, when she hears fireworks going off, she still freaks out because she has that memory of, as a girl, like the bombs going off, the guns shot, like when she hears, when firecrackers go off, like it still freaks her out. So she's so jumpy. She's in her 60s. My dad tells me a story. He gets back to his village. Everybody looks at him and they're like, hey, like, help us. How do we escape? He said he literally had a compass. He pointed it south because he knew that Thailand was south. And they started walking into the jungle. And he said for months, they just hid. And they got to the river. And the Mekong River is the 9th largest river in the world, right? So it's like, imagine the Mississippi, but worse and a lot harder. So you got to cross the river. Well, the Hmong people, we're mountain people, right? So that means that not a lot of us know how to swim. So we're not the lowland people. We don't mess with water.
Yeah.
So they get to the Mekong River. My dad says he takes these bamboo and he makes a little raft out of the bamboo where he can just hold on to, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio, like Jack style, he said he just threw his body across, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said all he had was his gun, and he had a plastic bag that he put all his clothes in. All he had his gun, and he put it on, and his basically part of his village, the people in his village just followed him because they're like, hey, you were in the army. You kind of know how to do this. So they followed him, and he would tie himself to people who didn't know how to swim. And so he had one arm kind of over the raft, and he would paddle with one arm. And I'm like, wait, what happens if the rapid took you one way? He goes, you switch your arm and you paddle against it.
Oh my God.
And he got across. Now, then they got into the refugee camp in 77, which is the name of the refugee camp is called Vinai, which is where a restaurant is named after. So he got there in 77 and he met my mom in 77, 78, and they got married. And then I was born in 84, and then we left the camp in 88, and the camp closed down in 92. And from 75 to 92, it housed 75,000 people in that camp. And out of those 75, 90% of them were Hmong, and out of those 90% ended up here in the Midwest.
So roll out the barrel and get the band brewing. Life's got you down, just keep her moving.